So, day 4 of the EV Rally, and we're joined by Lorna McAtear, who is Head of Fleet for National Grid. Hi, Lorna.
Hi.
So I think this is our third interview, possibly at one of these EV rallies, and it's your third.
It's my
but
third
you were
rally.
you were very integral in the first one, in triggering it off, but you've been obviously in the last 3.
Yeah, I
and
couldn't
you
do the first one because I was actually speaking at COP26. Yeah.
And you like a challenge. So,
1 or 2.
Yeah. So this year we've got an unbelievable eclectic collection of vehicles, but this one's a bit special. So I was wondering if you could tell me what particularly about this one is unique to you and what National Grid are trying to achieve and how important this is.
So if you think what it is at National Grid, a lot of what we do in the utilities sector is we're often going off-road, we're in places that other people haven't gone to before. I've got 1,500 4x4s on fleet, so we know with the timescales and everything else that there isn't really anything around at the moment. But it's companies like MW Motors that are coming out with the Spartan EV 2.0 that are helping us on that journey with what we've got and what we can do. So this has got the 1-ton carrying load that we're after. You can see there's actually a tow bar on it as well. Haven't braved towing with it yet. Maybe we'll do that in Wales or next year. I'm going to try and bring them back. We'll see what happens. So this is what we're looking at now. What is the art of the possible when it comes to these vehicles? What are the lessons we learned? So this is a great one for doing that. And I've lost track of days, day 4 now. So yesterday, we even went off-roading in it as well as a little bit of fun, just to see what can happen and how it all works.
Yeah. And you've also got a motorbike as part of the team this year. And what are the other vehicles you've got?
So we've actually got the Zero motorbike, we've got a Porsche 911 conversion, and we've got a Beyond van, which you've just missed because it's just driven out, ready to go to the next point. That's still on left-hand drive as well, because that's also a first in the country. This is the first in the country. The Zero had 25 miles on the clock when Sam picked it up, ready to take it. And of course the Porsche, although it's 35 years old, it's actually brand new with the conversion. And none of our vehicles really charge at any more than 50 kilowatts in terms of speed because of what we're doing and testing. So it's all new challenges for us. So we are proudly the slowest set of vehicles on the race, the most eclectic set of vehicles. And the other thing we're doing with the bike, we've actually got a Kia coming around with us. We vehicle to load that bike every night, so it's got a full charge ready for the morning.
It's amazing, isn't it? What can be done now, and it shows how we're stretching. Not just the rally, but actually the whole EV eclectic range that we've got now. We're stretching in there. But can I ask, why is it important to National Grid, and why is it important to you, this ultimate transition and where we're at now? Because there's so many naysayers in there. So why is it so important?
So I'm never going to get away from it, am I? I work at National Grid, so we are at the heart of this transition. And it is a transition, not a cliff edge. So it's how do we take all these lessons? The Porsche and the motorbike are never going to go on my fleet, but I need to understand what it is that they need, because as we move out of the early adopters, we're into mass adoption, and that means everybody. That means all the car enthusiasts of the past that love those old classics. How can you take this forward and make it easier for them as well? So one of the things on the rally as we were going around, having done the first one as well, we planned it really. I'm still getting in this and everyone's saying to me, but you've got hardly any range and you've got hardly any of this. You can only charge 50 kilowatts. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. We'll get in and we'll figure it out next.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. There is absolutely no need to panic. There have been a few challenges, but mainly because if you look at how many of us there are here, we're all turning up at the same time. So it's how do you manage that? And perception-wise, we're trying to make sure that public can still get on the chargers and we don't actually hog those chargers while they're around.
Which is important from a branding perspective as well, that you're not seen to be doing it. We've seen that in a couple of days of the rally. We're all turning up en masse, and a guy actually asked how many people were waiting this morning.
Yeah.
So there is still room for capacity, and it's going to keep on growing. But the progress from what I've seen from year 1 to year 4 is unbelievable.
Literally, year 1, the amount of planning that went into the rally and all the vehicles going around. The same with year 2, because we went across on the ferries and we went over to Ireland. We crossed the border into Southern Ireland. We did all those cities. This time round, yes, we're doing all these towns and it's still mammoth in sense of mileage, but actually there's less panic. It's just more a case of understanding who needs to do what. That's right, that's the big truck Arctic disappearing. Grab it quick. So again, those on the rally as well, and hubs like this, seeing all the different places, and they're all just popping up with all the different lessons. So it's great to be at this one, chatting with the people, putting it in, going, have you got AC charging? Can you put a little cover over it for the motorbikes? Yeah. Because unlike vans and cars, they've got nowhere to sit when it rains.
Absolutely.
And it's this kind of stuff now that we're learning and taking forward.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Year 5 next year. I think of something bigger and better.
I'm going to tow all the way around next year. Let's see what happens.
Thank you.
Thank you.